Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? Michael Thomas is at it again, and I just don't understand, man. Talked about Michael Thomas yesterday, and overwhelmingly, I'd say 80-20, you all agreed with me. There's, this small corner of the fan base that's defending Michael Thomas, which is so perplexing. And he just continues. Jeff Duncan had the report that Michael Thomas was going to be released, and then Michael Thomas went on a Twitter tirade about Dennis Allen, or about Jeff Duncan. And the point I made yesterday is, like, Michael Thomas is showing his behind right now. Like, things aren't going his way, and so he's pointing the fingers at other people. And it's a shame, because this guy, for the first 4 years of his career, was arguably the best wide receiver in the NFL, and he's the most talented receiver you've ever had in the history of your organization. Marcus Colston had the best career of any receiver, but Michael Thomas is the best receiver you've ever had. And injuries and unfortunate things happen, but how Michael Thomas has managed this is what has led us to this point. Like, ghosting your organization when you have an injury, literally not communicating at all with the people that were paying you $100 million. That's not acceptable. He punched Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Remember, his own team suspended him. I mean, he's tweeting during games while he's injured, taking shots at Derek Carr during games in this offseason. I mean, the tweet that broke the camel's back was a couple of weeks ago when he's tweeting about the organization when he knew he was on his way out. Like, he's lost his mind. He's lost any sensibility. Actually, what he's doing is he's showing you who he really is. When times are good, it's easy to be fan-friendly and to be engaged and a good teammate. When times aren't good, that's kind of when you show who you are, through adversity. And he's shown himself not to be a good locker room guy. And so Michael Thomas tweeted today. Now he's pinned the tweet. Like, he just continues. It's like, man, just stop. Like, what other team is going to want to touch you with all this? But he tweeted a bit ago, "It's because we not yes man, so we cancers. But under a winning coach, we're looked at differently. It's a mentality that makes losers uncomfortable because they used to losing all their career." Man, there is a major difference between being a yes man and being a good teammate. Doesn't matter what you do professionally. If you have concerns and frustrations, there are manners in which you can voice them. Michael Thomas has done that all wrong, and that makes you a bad teammate. That makes you a bad employee. Whatever you do, whatever profession you're in. Things aren't always perfect. But one of the things, especially like this, that we talk about all the time, that was so important for Sean Payton, was culture. And man, say whatever you want behind closed doors, but publicly, you're going to have a unified front. We talked about this. One of the best examples locally was in 2016 when the LSU-Florida feud happened. Y'all remember that? There was the Hurricane Matthew that was coming into Florida, and whether they were going to play the game, move it, whatever was going to happen. Well, Joe Oliva and the then AD at Florida, Jeremy Foley, were feuding publicly. And Greg Sankey was a new commissioner. And the whole thing was, man, he had to slap him on the wrist and get him behind closed doors and say, look, I don't say whatever I want to say publicly. or behind closed doors, but publicly, we're going to have a unified front. It's like when Texas was coming into the conference, A&M kind of got a little sideways. Not pleased about Texas coming into the league. And they got put in timeout and had to publicly, suppose a unanimous vote to let Texas and Oklahoma in because they were going to be publicly unified. That's the difference here. And it's hard to imagine Michael Thomas not understanding that. No one's saying you have to be a yes man. No one's saying you have to just go along with your organization and everything they say and do. And nobody is saying that they're perfect. And nobody's saying except losing. Like, do you realize there has been nobody, literally nobody, that covers the New Orleans Saints? Nobody that has been more vocally critical of Mickey Loomis, Dennis Allen, and Derek Carr than me. So much so that a lot of you think I hate the Saints, which is stupid. Tell my wife that. She'll laugh in your face. I love the organization. I love the team, man. They're part of my blood. But I get paid to give opinions. And the worst part about being in the opinion media, is giving opinions. Because no matter what you say, no matter what, you are going to piss off somebody, no matter what. It is impossible to have 100% of your audience agree with you on anything. It is impossible. Absolute. No exceptions. It is impossible to have 100% of your audience agree with you on any given topic. So no matter what I say every day when I sit here, I'm going to piss off somebody, no matter what I say. And yeah, some of y'all didn't like what I have to say about Michael Thomas, but it's a small minority. But that's the point. I mean, Michael Thomas, nobody is saying just fall in line. Nobody's saying be a yes man. But damn it, man, be a good teammate. What does it serve to go on Twitter during a game and bash Derek Carr? What does it serve to be a player on the team to go on Twitter and bash your organization? What does it serve when you're battling an injury to just turn off your phone and not talk to anybody in the organization when they've invested $100 million of you and you can't pick up your damn phone? That's not about your mentality and being a winner. It's got nothing to do with that. That's you not taking responsibility that you owe the organization that has paid you $100 million because they believed in you. Nobody's asked, like, the reason they were willing to pay you $100 million is because you're a great player and you have a dog mentality, and they want that. But that doesn't mean you get to show your ass all the time. That's why Michael Thomas is about to be cut. And the more he does this, the harder it's going to be for another team to want to take a chance on him. Look at Antonio Brown. Yeah, Pittsburgh was done with him, and the Raiders are willing to take a shot. He goes and gets frostbite on his feet before he ever plays a game. He's released. I mean, eventually, that phone's going to stop ringing if you keep showing this is who you are, because who's going to want to bring this into their locker room? That's not a competitor's mentality. This is a shot at Dennis Allen. Under a winning... We're cancers, but under a winning coach, we looked at differently. It's not that you looked at differently. It's you behaved differently. You behaved differently when the team was winning. You see Cam Jordan out there crushing his teammates? You see DeMario Davis out there dogging his head coach? I mean, brother, what are we talking about here? Like, this isn't a Saints problem. The Saints have their problems. But this isn't a Saints problem. This is a Michael Thomas problem. It's why the most talented receiver in the history of the organization is about to be shown the door. A guy they paid $100 million to, they're about to show the door. And he just can't stop. It's like, brother, just stop. Put down the phone. Stop tweeting. What are you serving? What is the point of this? What is the point of teeing off on Derek Carr on Twitter during a game? What good does it do hammering the Saints organization on social media? What benefit is gained by going after Jeff Duncan in a tirade or going after Dennis Allen today? Like, what are you serving, man? What good is this doing? All you're doing is driving a bigger wedge between yourself and your teammates and the organization and the fan base and the rest of the NFL, because all the other 31 teams are going to see this and go, guy hadn't been healthy in 4 years, and now he's on Twitter running his mouth every day, blasting his coach and his teammates and his organization. Like, do we really want that guy around? I mean, you know the answer. Man, I had planned on in this segment, I'm going to come back to it because I do want to talk about it. Yeah, there's this thing up at Spotrac about the money, the actual dollars the Saints have spent the last 3 years. I mean, everybody's got to spend the same in the cap, right? But what does it cost you to have that number against the cap? Well, and I want to get to that. I'm going to get to that. But man, it's so sad and perplexing what's happening with Michael Thomas. Like, this tweet, it's because we're not yes men, so we're cancers, but under a winning coach, we're looked at differently. No. No one's saying be a yes man. And you were looked at differently under a different coach because you were a different person publicly. And things go bad, and now you're a different person publicly. I mean, all you ever hear out of Cam Jordan is, want to win that Super Bowl, I want to win at New Orleans. What do we have to do to get there? It's not being a yes man. You can acknowledge that there's issues. But if you have grievances, air them internally, man. That's true anywhere. I got a microphone. I could sit here and talk all day. Things that go on in this building. Not that anybody cares. Not that's to the scale of Michael Thomas. But if you got a problem, you address it privately. It's sad, man. Like, this amazing dude that we all love to cheer for is just making us all, like, pick sides and being contentious about him. It's just such a weird, sad thing, man. I wish you would just put the phone down. Put the phone down. Go be healthy and be a great player again, man. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.